am so excited. I've been saving my sourdough starter discards. I've been putting in this jar. I found a recipe for how to use all that discard without discarding it. And I've put 1.5 cups of that in here. Now this is a mess, but when I cook, I'm a messy cook. I'm sorry. But here's the recipe. This is the sourdough starter discard, okay? And it's starting to bubble because it's warming up. It's been in the refrigerator and it's warming up. This is some, that is a chicken and vegetable stew that I made yesterday. I pressure cooked a whole chicken, and then I pressure cooked these vegetables, and we had vegetables and chickens. Well, I put it all together in the same liquid, and now I'm going to make a chicken pot pie, okay? I've got my oven heated to 400 degrees. I found this recipe. Do you see that? On Boone, Farmhouse on Boone. I'm going to try to put the, in the description. If I don't, leave a comment and say you forgot the link to Farmhouse on Boone. But she had this wonderful recipe. I'm not following this part because I already had my ingredients, but this is kind of like a skillet. I'm calling it a pot pie because my husband loves pot pie. So I've got my oven heated up to 400 degrees. I've got 1.5 cups of the Starburst. I'm going to put in 3 eggs. Now I'm doing this for the very first time. You're seeing it live for the very first time. And I'm kind of hurrying because the oven's been hot, and then I just realized that I needed to let you all know what I was doing. So here's 3 eggs. Now what else am I supposed to do? And this is one time I didn't prepare ahead of time before I got you on. I need a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of basil and 3 tablespoons of butter. Let me put this back. Whew, I'm so excited. My nerves are all jumping. Okay, 3 tablespoons of butter. Well, this is supposed to be melted, isn't it? I guess I better melt it. She didn't say melt it, but sometimes you have to be intuitive. I'm not going to be able to mix this butter in with all this if it's not melted. So while I'm going to get the other ingredients while I put this. And I realize that's not quite 3 tablespoons. Do you ever cook like this? Do you ever just kind of go about it willy-nilly? That's my usual way, but I didn't know I was going to do a video. And I thought, man, before I get started, I really should bring you all in on this. Here we go. I'm just going to use this to cut it. All right, so that should make about 3 tablespoons. I'm not measuring it. I'm recording. Okay, so we've got 3 tablespoons of that. I need a teaspoon of salt. And 2 teaspoons. Oh, I skipped. Okay, 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a teaspoon of basil. Where's my basil? Oh boy. This will teach me to prepare before I get you on camera. Basil. Basil. I know where the basil is. My husband keeps it by the table because he adds it to everything. Okay, and baking powder. Okay. All right, let's see. A teaspoon of basil. I'm just going to have to do, there we go. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I want you to see how quick and easy this is. Okay. And we're stir that all up. I need a clean spoon. Oh, there it is. I probably should whisk it. But while I'm stirring this up, and then I'm going to spread this mixture right on top of the veggies and beef, and sprinkle. Yeah, I should have used a whisk for those eggs. And don't forget the butter. Butter isn't melted yet. This is amazing. Butter wasn't quite melted, but I'm going to beat it until it is. Okay. Right or wrong, here we go. I might have had too much liquid in my pan. I didn't even think about that. I was going to make it like I would make it for hash. I probably had too much liquid in there. It's probably going to bubble over. So I'm going to put a pan in the oven underneath it. But there you go. We're going to see how this is. And by the way, my sourdough starter over here, I wasn't going, let's see. This is, I've lost track. I think this is day 7. Day 6 or day 7, I'm not sure, but you can see it's risen, not quite doubled. You want to wait until it doubles inside. So that's how you know it's ready to be used. Well, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Like and subscribe, and let me know if you're going to try this yourself. Shalom. I love you. Remember to be the bride.